Welcome to the first Halloween edition of the 5+8 show. It's the spookiest edition yet. We were going to do it normal, and then Jeff had a great idea to do whatever it is we're doing now.
Oh, Halloween edition. How do I sound?
Yeah, you sound terrible.
All right.
Oh, you actually sound like you're wearing a mask, so it's kind of relevant. Like how Gabe sounds on all his conference calls.
Right.
Does Gabe wear his masks during conference calls?
Does Gabe ever not wear his mask? Yeah. Well, for a sip.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, just to have a little sip, a little beverage. Okay, so we are talking about retention. Adrian, are you closing your door? Okay, good. We're talking about retention, employee retention, something that is very important to us here at 5+8. Obviously, if you follow us or know anything about us, the people who work here are really important. And Jeff and I, one of the founding things was let's make somewhere that's actually fun to work, So we have a special guest with us today, Miss Sarah Hudson, our first employee, our first official employee.
Yeah, full-time, salaried.
We've had some interns and some contracts.
She was never an intern.
She went straight.
Well, that's not true. I had like a month-long trial period.
But that wasn't an internship.
All right.
Yeah, you were never an intern.
Okay.
Your first title was?
Junior designer.
Yeah, was it junior designer?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever really settled on one.
But it was your first, and 5+8 is your first job.
Yes.
Ever.
My first full-time job.
Right.
Not my first job ever.
And you were how old?
22 or 23.
22? Really?
It's kind of. I might have just turned 23. I
So
can't
it
ever
would
do
have
the
been.
math.
It would have been.
It was February 2015. That's all I know.
Okay, so that was 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so obviously it makes sense to have Sarah on here to talk about retention because Jeff and I can sit around and talk all day about how it's important to us and all that good stuff. But I think that the proof is in, I don't want to say pudding.
But it is.
Yeah. But I just don't want to say pudding.
Right.
Because pudding is a really weird word.
All right, I'm taking my mask off. It's
Yeah,
hot.
yeah.
It's hot.
I'm going to take pull my eyes up so I can see a little bit better. Yeah. How's that look, guys? Got Ade and Gabe on the engineering. But no, I think that it doesn't make any sense for us to sit here and talk about retention and yada, yada, yada. I think it's important to hear from Sarah, although albeit maybe awkward because we're here. So what's she going to say?
I think she can say whatever she wants.
No, she can. She can. And she does. And to be fair, Sarah is a great example because Sarah has always, since day one and to this day right now, always said exactly how she feels. So with that said, Sarah, I will ask you, what has kept you here?
Well, honestly, it's probably the freedom I have. I mean, I like that I don't have to report to somebody every day. I like that you don't get mad at me for coming in at 9:10 sometimes. Especially with COVID, the whole scheduling thing has become a lot more lax. But it's always been like that for us. And I've always really enjoyed that. I don't get like the Sunday scaries. I also love what I do. So that makes it a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A little bit different than like my friends who I'm the only one of my friends who has been at the same job since she started like post college.
Yeah.
All my friends have had 2 or 3 jobs since they graduated.
And that was only 5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of moving around.
Especially for people my age, I would say. I feel like in the early parts of people's careers, they move around a lot. But it's different. Like 5+8, we're so small. We're like a family. Like I can see myself growing here and like creating roles for myself as we grow. So it's like, why would I leave?
Yeah, no, I just wrote something about this and trying to tie it in together and write a blog, and then we can actually talk about it further. So I think that it's for a person who is just out of school, sometimes they don't know what they want to do. Not everyone's the same. I'm not saying like everyone should stay at a good job no matter what. and you obviously you have liked. So going back in time, you.
Well, I will say, yeah, I've known what I wanted to do since I was in like 10th grade.
Right.
And
when
I joined newspaper, journalism, really. When I first learned InDesign, I guess you could say.
Will you tell the story of? God.
I'm really bad at telling stories.
Well, this is the story about that you've told me several times about. This is just a good insight into Sarah and how. How and why we've given her so much responsibility and trust.
Are you talking about my newspaper thing?
Yes.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I was the editor-in-chief of my newspaper, and I was really into it, and I convinced my newspaper advisor to let me. Well, newspaper was like an actual class you had to take. You had to be graded. It wasn't just like an after-school thing. And I convinced my newspaper advisor to let me grade the staff's articles.
Yikes.
I mean, could you imagine?
It worked like one time, and then everybody
just laughing.
Is Adrian making a face?
No,
She's never heard this story?
No, I don't know.
I did it one time, and then people complained because I was too harsh.
Yeah, you were handing out D's and
I was
C's.
trying to improve the quality of the writing.
Oh, wow.
I had like a grading rubric, like, a scale. I used what my teacher would use, but I was just doing editor-in-chief duties.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's why.
That's what real
You've always been overachiever. What about?
I made it not fun, though. That's what I heard.
You sucked the fun right out of that room.
But our newspaper won 10th in the nation for best in show, and it was only our second year in existence.
And that was
I was really proud of that.
That was the year you were grading people?
That was the year I was the editor-in-chief. The year before that was some other girl, and
that's awesome.
No awards were given.
Punk ass girl who didn't have anything.
Yep.
Was it your senior year, I assume?
That I was
Wait, I was a freshman.
No, our school didn't have a newspaper. My high school was brand new. I was only the second graduating class, so yeah. Nice.
No, I think I mean, Sarah, the interesting thing is, and it's not really just about. It's not what I don't want to do is ever come off as judgmental about like, oh, we, are retain everybody and we're so smart and we're so whatever that we get to keep, all our people and everywhere else is shitty and they all leave. But I think that if there's a way to measure your organization, then probably one of the best ways to measure your organization is if people stick around, because they stick around people to stay or leave for selfish reasons, right? They stay and leave for money, for freedom, for a good boss or a bad boss.
Yeah, and you can leave whenever you want. I mean, no one can make you stay at a job, so
and that's what I'm
completely up to the person.
Yeah, and I think that one of my points is that even 10 years ago, we knew so much less about the organizations we were going to work for. And so when I went and worked at new places or got jobs out of college, I was really flying blind. Like you went into the interview and that's about as much as you knew.
There was no Glassdoor or Google reviews or whatever.
Yeah, you just went into this place and you were just like, I want to work here. And they're like, we sell this and we do this. And you're like, I believe you because you're telling me that, but I don't have any other resource or way to explore if you're full of crap. And if this what if this company's super, now I think.
Well, the longer you're in the industry, you find out through colleagues. But when you're, back in the day when we were really young, you didn't know anything. You just had to kind of take someone's word for it and then trust your gut on the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah?
I don't know. No comment yet.
Okay, cool. Let's see. So probably the thing I always like to go and go back and Gabriel is behind the scenes. Engineering you started about a year and a half?
Not that long after Sarah.
No, like a year or so. Yeah, because you worked in a little office.
Yeah. You wore a suit.
For like 2 days, and then we moved.
Yeah, it was like a week.
I remember we hired him like the week we moved, and I was excited because we had like somebody to do all the heavy lifting.
Like physical heavy lifting?
Yeah.
And then I couldn't even, y'all didn't even need me.
We didn't?
Well, remember I went like psycho and did it all by myself over the weekend?
What,
You remember
moving?
that? When we moved in here, I came here on the weekend and organized it by myself.
No.
You know, Tyler will
I remember
that.
carrying stuff from over there to over here.
So did
Yeah.
we carried it over at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah,
You
we
just,
did.
oh, you organized it all.
Yeah,
You made it
I
look
came in
nice.
over the weekend and made it pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like ready to be moved into my
Yeah,
space.
but that's how
I'm
you-
one of those people that like when I move into somewhere, I have to get everything unpacked like within a couple days. It drives me nuts.
Jeff's the same way.
Oh yeah, I'm like that totally.
We were talking
Takes me
about
like
this.
6
You're being
months.
like,
Yeah,
you're
it takes
like
sarcastic,
6 months.
right?
Jeff hasn't unpacked from our trip in February to Utah.
There may still be a small bag.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
really
some
surprised
clothes
you
in
put
it.
together that desk as quick as you did.
As quick as he did.
Well, I mean,
When I actually did it,
yeah,
I
given
let it-
like
I
a
let it
quick
s-
from like the day
I
you
let
took
it
bets.
sit for a while.
Well, I literally deinstalled or what? Broke down your old
Hey,
desk.
took apart my old desk and I didn't have anywhere to sit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What else? Anybody? Retention. Oh, I know. Like, do you think, okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that, so I want to challenge us, right? And not just like say, oh, we're great or whatever. Do you think that it's easier to stay at a small, okay, so like for the example, right? Like you got into the ground floor of a company, right? When it was just starting out. And I think that's kind of exciting.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
yeah,
So you got that side of it that makes you kind of loyal. You're part of something that's starting. And so that might make you more loyal, more prone to like stick around and feel like you're part of it.
yeah. I bet if I joined 5+8 today, I don't know if it would be quite the same. It's a little
No, it
different.
wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, it's different for me because I'm one of the oldest employees
Yeah.
here now. I mean, oldest,
Longest tenure.
longest. Yeah,
You are
whatever.
the longest tenured.
Yes.
But the downside
So I
is
like that I have kind of that level of seniority. It's
Yeah.
kind of nice. I feel like I
It's
earned
great.
it. It'd be a lot harder for me to get that somewhere else, like at GSD.
it would be impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you're starting at a startup, there's no other way to get it.
And I will say I've had experience at both small and large agencies prior to here, so I kind of got the vibe of the big agency life.
Yeah.
Not so much for me.
And the downside of being somewhere small though is usually going to be money and growth.
Yeah, or like benefits,
And
that sort of
benefits.
thing.
So
which
you had
we're
to
getting-
weather. You have to weather that storm. You had to weather. We didn't have benefits for. Just
Yeah, but I was young. Like, I mean, I was only 22,
Yeah.
23 when I started working here, so I stayed on my parents for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
I had those opportunities where it made it easy for that, and the freedom was more important to me than money, and it probably always will be a little bit.
That's it. That's
If I'm
interesting.
being
thing.
honest.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because you are motivated. I mean, I know you well, but I mean, money is important to you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's normal and fine.
I'm taking this
You
off.
take yours, yeah. But I think that, and I think there's surveys that and stats that reflect this. But people's, when they survey them about why they left a company, it's very, not very rarely, but it's not the number one answer isn't money. It's usually freedom, trust, respect, things like that they couldn't get, and those things are all free. I mean.
Well, yeah,
Right?
they don't cost money.
They don't cost money. And so when you don't have money, like we didn't, that's all we could do is give you, and Paulina,
Yeah.
freedom. And like, if you could take off, most jobs you can't take off for 3 weeks and go to Poland
Right.
or work from home when you want to. Now working from home kind
Now
of
it's
seems silly.
now it's a little different, but still.
But and then freedom now is everyone really has set their own schedule for the last, whatever, 7 months, 8 months it's been.
Yeah, freedom's worth more. Well, it's on par with money for younger people. Just coming out of school, I think it's worth more.
Yeah.
Like with us, you don't.
Oh my
have
gosh, could you imagine when you were younger if you could have just like been like, hey, do you mind if I go? I remember being so scared about asking for time off.
Oh yeah.
Even when I had 10 which 10
and if you were giving them a month in advance,
and 10 vacation days is
nothing.
Bull. It's bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like such a joke. 10 vacation days.
I agree.
For a year? I mean, I'm not even like being like
out of 365 days in the entire year, you could. I mean, sure, you can take like little quick weekend trips, but that's nothing.
Not. Yeah, that sucks. I remember even in one job, I had used up all my vacation days by like May, and I was like, "Can I take unpaid vacation?" And they were like, "You can, but I wouldn't."
I probably wouldn't do that.
And I'm like, "Why?" I guess you're not, but especially when you're young and you've got weddings, and you just want to go float the river with your friends.
Yep. Tyler only has 10 days and it's really irritating.
It sucks.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
I'll just take vacations without him.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, I would do that too. How are we on time? 21 minutes.
Do you guys edit it? Like, are you going to cut this part out?
No.
Oh.
We just leave it all
We don't
in.
edit anything.
Like I'd say like 15 minutes.
That's it?
Dang.
Damn. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Well, do you have anything you want to say, Gabe?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a mic.
Oh.
Do you want to
wanna
bring in Katy?
Rotate guest?
Yeah. You want to bring in Holton?
She's had more,
we should
had
bring
more
in Katy.
experience than me.
Yeah.
And she's retained,
Yeah, let's bring her and let her give her take on
Okay.
it.
Yeah, let's get Katy.
I will add too, I think it is a lot about our culture, like the not having to dress up every day bull crap and things like that. If we don't have client meetings, being able to just dress super casual is really nice.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, the quote or the concept of dress for your day is really changed, like really helped me to think about it, because I don't want us to be bums either, right? I don't want us to be like so cool that we don't even like get dressed up for meetings. I mean, that's almost disrespectful to a degree.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
But the reality of what stupid.
It's live.
I mean, no, there's no.
Yeah, we're live.
Is it live? There's no such
No,
thing as
no,
live.
it's not live.
Okay.
There's no such thing as live or not live.
I'm gonna bump out of the way and
no,
Katy can take my spot.
No, Katy, Jeff doesn't care.
Is Jeff out?
Yeah. I mean, he's temporarily out.
Can you put the headphones on over the
Katy, eye holes created by Adrian.
You should put your glasses on the outside of your
And get really close to the mic.
Yeah, whenever you talk, if you shove them through the eye hole.
This is very spooky. Jeff makes a great
Jeff, you're
point.
so-
This is a very, very spooky podcast. Yes, there you go.
I thought they might like hold the sheet in place a little bit.
The concept is great.
concept's there.
It's going to be
Do
very
you
hard.
really need to be able to see? Not really, right?
Okay.
There's probably going to be anywhere from 7 to 9 viewers, so we need to really lock it up, guys. Let's get focused. But on like really good professional podcasts, don't they just have like long, crappy silences?
Yeah,
and
on
nothing
Joe Rogan, they like watch videos and you just hear them like watching videos. I've been really into that podcast lately.
Jeffrey.
It's very interesting. He's so interesting.
Yeah, he is. His stand up he did.
You guys should get him to be on your podcast.
Yeah.
He's in Austin now.
Can we get Joe Rogan?
What?
He's in Austin.
He was in Houston in July. I heard he was at the Improv.
Studio's in Austin now. He lives there.
Is that where Spotify
What?
is? Is he in like
No, Spotify's not over there.
Is it in like Spotify Studios or something?
No, he makes the studio in his house.
New biz. Let's get Joe Rogan.
He
Joe
moved to
Rogan
Austin?
experience.
Like south of Austin somewhere.
This
That
is
seems a
similar
bit
to the Joe
extreme.
Rogan experience.
I mean, it's got about the same viewership.
Yeah, it feels
That's
similar.
like the only similarity is that we have so many viewers.
Yes. That's the
Yeah,
only
you guys
similar.
are drinking on the podcast
Do
too.
they drink?
Oh, he does lots of stuff.
Oh, he smokes weed a lot.
Yeah. Takes
yeah.
mushrooms, does all that.
Yeah. It's
We can do that.
it's irresponsible.
Hey, can you talk? Stop.
Just gonna.
Katy, you can take off your
Yeah, you can.
take off your crap.
Okay.
Because we would like to hear from you, because for a lot of reasons, but one reason is that you're the opposite of Sarah, in that you have you're similar to Sarah, that you have this similar roles here, but you also are very different because you have worked a lot of places and done freelance and full. We get again.
Adrian, can you give me my hat?
Oh, you're worried about your hair.
Yes.
Quality of the hair. Can you give her a baseball hat or a top hat or?
The way your mask is pushed up right now is really funny too, because you just have the hair sticking straight up between the headphones and the mask.
Hey everyone, welcome Katy Holton.
Hey guys.
Hey. Can you hear sound check on Katy?
Yeah, just get right up into the mic.
Your mouth, that's all.
There you go.
Nice. Katy, please don't lick the mic.
There's a pandemic.
Germs.
Oh. So Katy, you've been here how long?
2.5 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track.
I know time flies when you're having to work for the greatest company in the
Yeah, I
world.
was trying to woo you guys for like 6 months.
You wooed us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did an amazing job from day one. That was the best example I've ever seen of replacing yourself. Paulina, who is a beloved figure from 5+8, left and replaced herself with Katy in the most seamless fashion I've ever seen. And Katy has gone on to be just a fantastic employee, a friend, HR in the best way possible, not in the lamest way possible. She loves everybody and is very inviting and helps us throw parties and organize everything. But I think the question here, to stay on topic, is that you worked a lot of places, good, bad, and otherwise. Not a lot, but you've worked enough places.
Yeah, I've had some interesting experiences. None bad.
None
Just
bad.
Very
None
just
bad.
different.
Very different. Very different. So you've told me and told all of us that this is your place.
Yes.
And so I don't feel weird saying this, but like there's no reason to think that you're going anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
Right. So what about this place or what about this environment or situation has been different for you, and what in terms of why you feel like you want to stay put opposed to looking for the next shiny object, which I think is the question, is that people think that younger people or all people are constantly looking for the next best thing and how they can make more money or get a bigger title or whatever. So what is it about you in this situation specific to you that, makes you feel like you want to stick around?
You guys kind of touched on it a little bit earlier with how, you guys started very small. And when I first entered the workforce, I was in my early 20s, and I've only ever worked at small agencies, which I love. And I guess here's where I felt like I was in not a baby company, but a place that was definitely just a lot of potential for growth and intentional growth, not just like accidental, explosive growth. And especially I think y'all hit on some benefit points. That has become really important. Since I hit my 30s, suddenly, having health insurance and a 401k is important. So that is what would keep me around, to be honest.
So it's evolving. Your needs are evolving.
Yes.
And so we have to be responsive to those.
Yeah, mine will be too.
Is that a threat?
Your needs are evolving also.
Yeah, that was frightening.
I'm just saying, I'm only 28, so I got like 2 years, but I'll be.
What? You'll be what, 30? Or
I'll be 30, and then I'll be really, all that stuff. We'll really start pressuring on me.
That will definitely
buying a house.
that will be the next frontier, is when people start getting. We've had most of our male employees have had kids,
all these daddies.
Yeah, which is great, right? And
We've had 5 babies born.
We've had 5 babies born, right? And
That's amazing.
And I think paternal, what's it called?
Paternal leave?
Paternal leave. Is it
Paternity leave.
paternity leave?
I don't really know. I think so.
Paternity leave, not paternal leave. Paternity leave is super important too, but it's different for every person. And I understand that we're a small company and we can be more flexible than like a big company. I'm not talking about big companies. I'm talking about companies that have to make decisions, that are allowed to make decisions on an individual basis.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be in the office all the time. That helps me mentally than like sitting at home. But some people need to be at home with their baby. Why would I have babies? What I do?
Paternity.
Maternity. Okay.
Paternity leave.
Yeah. Which is coming for everybody. Hopefully, that
Just
wants
remember,
it to come.
you remember
through.
that episode of Blackish where he's wanting to take paternity leave, and the boss, he works at that ad agency,
yeah.
and his boss keeps making jokes like asking another employee, like hinting that he's going to get fired or be replaced if he takes paternity leave. We don't have that vibe here.
No. I had a buddy who took paternity leave. He got really good paternity leave at his big firm, and when a baby's first born, they just sleep a lot. Like, you don't really need paternity. I'm talking about the man, not the woman. You don't need a lot of it early on because the baby's just sleeping a lot and just needs mom. But he was just playing video games at home for like 2 weeks.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting. What will happen when the first 5+8 woman becomes a mom?
See how
It's
it
like, how are
goes.
we going to handle like the breastfeeding and being out, in and out, handling sick
Yeah.
kids? Like, what are we going to do?
But you know what we're going to
You're
do.
gonna get fired.
You already know what we're going to do. Right?
We're going to have a pump room.
Yeah, we're going to do exactly. We're going to do whatever
We need to do.
Yeah, we're going to do whatever we need to do to make it work for you and
I can just get like a
whoever
little
else.
blind on my office door.
Yeah, right? And if you need to work from home for a month, or you need to work from home for 2 months, or not work that's the other thing. So sorry, my mind's kind of going whatever.
But by the way, this is why like I want to stay here, for this kind of a freedom and like a flexibility.
Open discussion.
Yeah.
Like,
None of this is taboo. Like, it's
yeah, you got to talk about this stuff because then going all the way back to what the topic is if you want to keep your people, then you have to listen to them.
Yeah.
And everyone's needs are going to be different. Some people are never going to want to have kids, but they are once a year going to want to take 4 weeks off to go to Thailand. And like, that's something you have to prepare for, is you have to talk about, because when you are a small company, unlike a large company, when we lose one person, like you were out for a week last week, right? And you were out for 4 days or 5 days the week before.
2 days.
2 days.
Did it feel like 5 days to you guys?
What a compliment. Yeah. But we feel that when someone's out. Like, you feel it when Sarah's out. Sarah, you feel it when Katie's out, and everything. So you do have to make more of an effort to prepare for losing just one member for a long period of time. Right?
Right.
Well, I don't know what else to say.
We love each other so much.
Adrian's glaring at me. What? So, I think that's really probably the solution is actually listening to people. When we do the survey, we do like any company, once in a while we'll do a company survey and ask people, what they want and what they don't want. And
Internal survey,
yeah. Like saying like, hey, what's working for you? What's not working for you? And it can be very uncomfortable from my perspective to hear a bunch of criticism, even if I'm asking for it, and even if it's light criticism, because you're trying to make this great place, and then all of a sudden I'm literally asking for the criticism or the feedback, and you're giving it to me. And while I'm reading it, I'm like, you ungrateful pieces. No, I'm just kidding. But you get really defensive, but the reality is that most of the feedback is actually really helpful. And when I have a 24 hours to process it, then we can start making those decisions. Last year, our big annual meeting, everyone basically voted and decided that a 401k was the goal. And so now we've been working towards that and talking about that. And it's very, very likely is going to be something that we put in place this year or the end of this year. Right? Because that's what everyone wanted, which was cool, because I wouldn't have guessed that a bunch of people in their 20s, most important thing for them at the company would be to establish a 401k. But it was cool that it was. And it turned out, I was like, oh man, we can't do that. Talked to the accountant, and she was like, yeah, you just need to do this and this and this, and we can pull this off.
Which will be so cool. For a small agency, you don't hear that very much.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought 401k was for an in-house design job. like for sure. I was like, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
sell my soul to get this.
Well,
and
I
to
thought the same
make more
thing. I
money.
thought it would be so expensive to do it, and it's not. I mean, it's all relative, but it's not like, how do we want to spend our money, right? And if we all decide this is a good way for us to spend the company's money, then let's do it.
It's also a huge investment for you and us.
Yeah, it is an investment for the company to the people, but again, and this goes back to kind of what I wrote about earlier this week, is that like if you do the numbers and you and from a business perspective, because I obviously love everybody and all that good feeling and everything like that, but also from a business perspective, it is incredibly expensive to lose an employee. It's incredibly expensive, and the longer they're there and the more knowledge they have, if Sarah walks out the door tomorrow, imagine.
The chaos.
Yeah, exactly. Because no matter how good your processes are, your systems and all that crap, she has so much knowledge, so much history. She has relationships with clients that are so deep that that are going to be really affected, and it sends a terrible message to your clients when your people are leaving. Now, I mean, every once in a while, someone's going to leave. I mean, every once in a while someone leaves. It does happen, and not very often. And when they do leave, it's hopefully for a really good reason, a reason that we can all feel good about and feel proud of. I mean, that's fine. But if they're leaving consistently and there's not a good reason, and you've got to tell your clients, what if Sarah leaves, and then the message that sends to Katy and Sharon, the other designers. So Sarah leaves, all of a sudden,
Morale goes down.
Way
Oh my
down, and
God.
nerves go up, and like, why did she leave? And she's not telling you the truth, or Adam's not telling you the truth, and then it just becomes this whole kind of weird snowball of unknowns.
Can I say a little love note for Sarah really quick? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This was like you working at 5+8. Like I didn't realize how much of a draw that was for me to work here because
Oh, really?
of just the skill level behind the work. And then the weird thing is like once I figured out how you were a few years younger than me, I have a weird complex with age. Okay. And so I let it get to me that you were younger and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to learn from someone younger than me. But I had to get over that because you're like, I had to, like, what's more important? Like learning, my bottom line going somewhere was because I knew I was going to be the older designer coming in and I wanted to be able to learn from somebody and not just the owner of the company. Like there has to be another designer where I can, bounce ideas off of and feel like at least we're on the same level. So yeah, just like that, you were a huge draw. Like once I realized that, I was like, okay, this is good. And Sarah's been here, so that's also really good.
I learn from you too. We all teach each other.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
That
I
was-
enjoyed that. And watch your butts, because the one designer who's not here, Sharon Chu, is coming up, and that girl is good, good.
And fast.
And
getting
fast
faster.
and fun and chill. And I mean, these three designers, creatives, talents, Sarah, Katy, and Sharon are just, everybody in our company is amazing and great. That's not probably true, but I love everyone in our company, and they're all very, very, very good. But I will say that the end of the day, our product is our work, and our work is only as good as it is because of Sarah, Katy, and Sharon. And the future is insanely bright for our organization because of your talent and hard work and energy and all the other good stuff. So
Thanks.
I am eternally grateful for you guys. Jeff, do you agree?
Same. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So, Love Fest, I think, is good. Over, strong. Was it spooky enough?
It was scary how much you love them.
That was a little spooky.
I know. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you, Sarah, for your inaugural And your inaugural. Yeah, neither of you been on the podcast before. Yeah, but we're gonna make sure everyone's on it.
Adrian's next.
Adrian's next time.
No.
Adrian's gonna quit and just screw us. Adrian's gonna quit
for the day.
She's gonna quit in the comment section of this post.
She's gonna quit and go. Never mind. I can't.
Wait, what do you know?
I'm not. No, I wasn't. I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say a client, but I'm not gonna do that.
She's gonna drop
I was
names.
gonna name. Yeah, I was gonna name drop. I'm not gonna do that.
Interesting. That would have been a bold.
Tell me when you're done recording,
that'd
Gabe,
been-
and then I'll
that'd
do
been a
it.
Bold move.
I'm always recording.
We would just bleep your client if we can bleep.
That'd be funny if you could. I
Yeah.
know this person will never listen to this, but I'd be surprised if she did.
Is it the pet food?
Yeah.
Nice. Bleep. I don't really care. Anyway, no one cares. It's just my mom watching. My mom definitely would not watch this. She did. My mom definitely
Would
does
you
not.
far into the podcast?
They're a loyal listener.
You should just bleep out everything we're saying. Just make it look like we're cussing a bunch or
Oh
something.
yeah, just
That'd be funny.
false bleeps.
Make it look like I have a real dirty mouth. Just kidding. Tyler's mom thinks I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Mom thinks you cuss a lot?
Tyler's mom does. I don't think I do either.
I feel like we curse a lot more at the office.
I do.
Oh yeah, that's
What?
good.
You?
Yeah, right now.
Is it me? It's me.
I would say.
It's me. Is it me?
I say that. Yeah.
Probably me.
I don't notice when I do it. That's a
I
problem.
feel like the office is like a respite
It's a safe place.
from my house where there's a lot of small children and I can't drop.
I cuss around my kids all the time, but they don't do it.
What?
Maybe not in front of you.
Not for me. Oh, Brody, that dude says all kinds of stuff. When I'm not around, I'm sure. They won't do it in front of me, though.
It's nice.
It's because they respect you. It's good.
Peace.
Yeah. Bye.
Peace.
Okay. Bye.